Some clown threatened to call the police on me because 14 years ago I worked for companies that hired undocumented immigrants. That somehow equates to me going to prison today. Anyway, this person leaves the following comment. Actually, do the people that hire undocumented workers ever get in trouble for it, or only the undocumented people themselves? The answer to that question lies on the news that we see in regard to these incidences. Do you ever see an employer getting let out in handcuffs? Do you ever see these companies get shut down? Not because they didn't have any more workers, but because they hired undocumented immigrants? No, of course not. First things first. The Trump administration isn't the least bit interested in punishing people who hire undocumented immigrants, as the President of the United States himself is somebody who hires undocumented immigrants. I would be shocked if you went through all of the people that work for Republican elected officials, say in the state of Texas, and you didn't find a single undocumented nanny or maid or cook or anything. People hire undocumented immigrants. But more to the point, this goes deeper than Donald Trump. More to the point, neither side, Democrats nor Republicans, are particularly interested in solving this problem. Democrats want to protect undocumented immigrants, but neither side is really interested in solving this problem because it's free revenue. It's free money. Undocumented immigrants get taxable jobs. They pay taxes at their local level when they go into grocery stores and buy gas and cigarettes and things that go into liquor stores and convenience stores. They pay taxes on all levels. And it's free revenue, especially to the federal government, where you have millions of people working on taxable paychecks that are paying into unemployment and Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and all of these programs that they can't ever benefit from. It's free money. Neither side wants to shut that spigot off. So no, the employee or employers are never the ones that get in trouble. Back in the day when I worked for companies that hired undocumented immigrants, the way it worked was undocumented immigrants would buy a set of false identification. So it was usually a Social Security card, a green card, and a driver's license. And back then, and I don't know if it's still the case, but back then it cost about $1,000 for that set. You got a driver's license with your name, address, and picture on it. You got a Social Security number with some randomly generated number, and you got a green card that matched all the other numbers that were on the identification cards. You pay $1,000 for that, then you go and you apply at some landscape company in our instance, and the landscape company goes, all right, give me your in the interview process. All right, we need laborers. We're going to hire you. Give me your documentation, and they give you all this documentation that looks like the real thing, and you take photocopies of it, and you plug them into the system, and you put them out in the field to work, and a few months later, the government would send something that's called a does not match letter. Once again, this is back in the day. And that letter basically says what the title of it says. The information doesn't match. The name doesn't match the Social Security number. And that's where it ended back in the day. There was no follow-up, no enforcement. The federal government knew that these companies were hiring undocumented immigrants. They had the proof in their hands. They sent a letter to the company and said, hey, you got somebody there that's undocumented. This doesn't match. And they never followed it up because they don't want to shut off that supply of free revenue.